uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son, actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports.
In the building, Toby Bartlett, what's good on deck this morning? Salute WCS and the hottest chat on the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. WCS with the hottest boxing talk on the YTC. You know what it is. Mr. International himself is in the building. What's good with it, Toby? Salute to across the pond. You already know what it is. Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFN game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. Period. You already know. Samar Warren on deck, man. What it do? Peace and blessings below. Salute WCS. Certified, stamp the like button and support the grind. You already know. What's good with you, man? What's going on here, bro? On deck, what's good? On the Brown on deck, what's good with you? So this is not about any specific topic, all right? Because when you're trying to, when you talk about specific topics in boxing, it can get repetitive, stale, banal, ennui, whatever you want to call the shit, again, it can become repetitive. But I just want to touch on some topics that's been inserted into my place of interest. There's some people that seems to be irritated about me saying Naoya Inoue is an overrated fighter, and they're always trying to make it about racism, right? Let me explain to you something about racism. Though you might only consider, this might be the only place that you might see some so-called racist situations go down in the YTC, but I can't relate to that because me, born who I was, a black man from day one, when I came out my mother's womb, I was black. So what I experienced therefore after has nothing to do with the YTC, goddammit. Don't you ever think to yourself that a black man get tired of someone trying to check and see what they saying that is racist or not? We of all people have to go through it. Outside of this boxing talk, we have to go through it. We're the only race that we don't have to crack our lips or say a word. People kind of make out their own judgment and gives their own perception without even having a single dialogue. So therefore, when I said, in a way, these people obviously don't know my history. They don't know how much I respect the Japanese culture. And they don't understand that just because they feel a certain way about what I said about him, and they want to make it seem like it's a racist type of me being objective, and it has something to do with being racist because there's very limited Asians in boxing is stupid. It's absolutely stupid, pathetic that you all up here, those of you that's doing this, you all are trying to protect a fighter that you don't even talk about on a regular basis yourself. You mad because you're not You wasn't around long enough when I said the same thing about Joshua. I said the same thing about freaking Vasil Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying about your Asian god, freaking Inoue. What do people get off thinking that we have to slide around certain topics on boxers? If they are boxers, they're subject to what? Criticism like everybody else. Just like we criticize all these black fighters. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get in trouble out in town. It's just all over the freaking boxing media. You know what I'm saying? But somebody else, a Mexican fighter or a Russian fighter or a Filipino fighter or whatever the case may be, that stuff may stay on here for a good tick, tick, tock, and it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's even talking about it. But what I'm saying is, for Inoue, I just don't see his resume being anything special. Period. I don't see anything being special. And for people to talk about he's global, and a lot of people over here want to see him box, is just a lie. The man's only fought over here 3 times for a reason. Don't nobody remember those fights. Nobody ain't talking about his fights over here in the US, those 3 fights he had. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to spend too much time on this because he's not big enough for me to spend time on like that. He's not big enough. He had one of the weakest undisputed runs, period. Nobody was saying anybody on that outside of Nonito Donaire would be considered a great fight that was equal to greater. Not even Donaire on that night. They considered to be equal to freaking Inoue at that night because he was much older. You know what I'm saying? 10 years older. So, and it all depends on what you're looking at as far as competition goes. The same standard they place on other great fighters, they need to place on these foreign fighters, and stop giving them these exemptions, man. These exemptions that you feel is easy. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for y'all to give these exemptions to these fighters because you don't have a connection with them. Now you have the U.S. fighters that you see on a regular basis over here. Yeah, you want to goddamn criticize them for everything. But to say Inoue is must-see TV and he's this, man, we don't have boxers come and go that does the same thing as Inoue. Box. You know what I'm saying? Knock out certain opponents that's supposed to be knocked out. I mean, come on, bro. We got that already. Tank is the pure knockout artist. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder is even that. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about pure punching power, we're talking about Deontay Wilder, Gervonta Davis. 1 and 2 in that order. Wilder, Davis. We've had that before. We've had hard hitters over here before. We've had them. We've seen them all. Monster's nobody special that we've seen, that we haven't seen over here in the U.S. We've seen them before, period. I mean, what are you talking about? Nobody was considering Stephen Fulton based off Leo and Figueroa that he was a great fighter. No one was saying that shit. But Inoue goes in there and beat him and knocks him down and all that several times. All of a sudden, he's this great fighter. No, y'all try so hard to build up the stats with these foreign fighters because you feel that they're a minority, they're an anomaly or whatever, and you're building up your diversity portfolio by hyping up these fighters that doesn't even come close to the amount of criticism that these U.S. fighters have to go through from the U.S. media. That's just the way I see it. Moving on off him, because it ain't gonna get no different. It ain't gonna get no different. Like I said before, he will unify his next fight with Marlon Tapales. I don't see no upset like he did with MJ. We'll see. We'll see if he become the second fighter to become undisputed in 2 divisions. Hooray, hoorah. You know what I'm saying? Hooray, hoorah. Let's see it. And then let's see what he does from there. Cool. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua situation was going on several years back. And just when we thought we was going to have these 2 in the ring, Eddie Hearns has since switched courses, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm so disappointed, man, in my cavalier voice. I'm so disappointed. Eddie Hearns made all this shit to my, oh, we're going to pay Deontay Wilder more than he ever made. That was way back then, right? Wilder's been through a trilogy. He's been in there with the best of the best in the heavyweight. And now that him and Joshua are not in possession of championship belts, this will be the perfect time for both of these guys to fight. And I thought Eddie Hearn would be on board with that. But the lies, man, I got respect for Eddie Hearn. I mean, it's just difficult when it comes to this boxing game because, you know, they always say this fight is going to happen. So-and-so in talks. It's all bullshit, man. Like so-and-so's in talks. This fight might happen. Do you remember when Wilder was in arbitration, they was trying to push Wilder Fury and they said it was going to be for the undisputed? So that fell apart, right? Not only did it fall apart, but Fury beat Wilder in the trilogy, but yet we never was able to get the undisputed fight. We was never able to get the heavyweight undisputed till this day. We are no closer to getting the undisputed fight. You know why? Because Fury is about to fight Francis Ngannou. And I have to say, the promo video, if you haven't checked it out, the promo video for this heavyweight fight is awesome. That's the best part. I'm talking about if you really want to sell a fight between cross-threaded combat sports, this is the way to do it. I mean, the creativity behind this promo video and everything, I love it. I rank it in the top 5, period. The creativity is amazing. You know what I'm saying? For Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, I love it. But my whole point is the heavyweight division is not even close to unified. Alexander Usyk is out here enjoying vacation or whatever, and Tyson Fury about to face a former UFC heavyweight champion. To me, you know, that just goes to show you how Wilder had the heavyweight division on lock. He had it on, you know, he had it buzzing. He gave Fury that dance partner that he needed. But when Wilder was gone, Fury did nothing with the heavyweight division. Nobody cares that he beat Deontay Wilder. Dillian White. Nobody cares he beat Dillian White. Who cares? But since Deontay has lost the title, I mean, the heavyweight division has been in the water, bro. It's just been soaking, man. There haven't been shit going on. And that's real bad. That's just something that doesn't make any sense to me. Why we couldn't get the heavyweight undisputed. And Eddie Hearn was like, oh, it's up to me to protect Anthony Joshua still to this day. They made it seem like that Joshua wanted to get a fight in. So he got a fight in with Robert Helenius. He looked crazy in that fight. And then he wanted to get out. I do what I want. He's going through these little, these psychopathic episodes, you know what I'm saying, where he's getting mad at the fans or whatever. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Joshua. But you say you was going to get a fight in between prior to you stepping in the ring with Wilder at the end of the year. That is out the question. You know what I'm saying? And Malik Scott just released like a snippet saying that Anthony Joshua do not want to fight Wilder, and I believe him. I believed them back then when they was making it hard on negotiations. You know what I'm saying? All the way up to now. Wilder does not want to get knocked out cold by anyone. He knows Wilder possesses that power. He does not want to get knocked out cold by Wilder. Seriously. It's just disappointing all the way through and through. I just can't call it, man. Moving on, I don't know if y'all heard, man. Devin Haney and Regis Prograis is fighting in San Francisco, December 9th, I believe. And I put it like this: when two fighters have to tell people how many tickets are being sold, I don't know what it was supposed to do to the fan base. You know, that's what you have people who are promoting the fight. They supposed to do that. They supposed to put the promo out. But are you trying to convince people, oh, the tickets are selling out, the tickets are man, we've heard that already. We've heard the tickets of this, the tickets of that. If your seat capacity is 10,000, and you're in an area where both fighters are pretty notable, you know what I'm saying? People have a connection. They understand who that fighter is. Okay, cool. You won't have no problem. If the tickets are reasonable, people come sit down in the seats and watch this. But when fighters get online and tell people that this amount of tickets are sold, it really tells me that how do we know you're telling the truth as a fighter, and why is that information? If I was a fighter, why is that information I want to know? I don't want to know how many tickets being sold. That's up to my people to call me up and say, hey, this is what we're going to do with the tickets. We got this amount being sold. We're going to do this. I'm supposed to be training. I'm supposed to have my mind focused on my opponent. You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. I don't care about, the tickets being sold. If I did what I'm supposed to do and I trust in my team, guess what? I shouldn't have to then worry about that. I shouldn't have to be circling that roundabout, trying to get off at a certain point and say, hey, how we looking? Okay, just checking, boom, and get back on the carousel. No, fuck that. But Devin Haney and Regis Prograis is on deck, man, December 9th for Regis WBC Junior Welterweight World Title. This fight should be interesting because, obviously, when it comes to footwork, what I'm saying, mobility, I'll get that to Devin. But Regis gives me that, what I'm saying, that strength. I would say Regis is stronger. I'm just looking at certain fights. Very durable. Don't have to worry about his chin. I don't see Devin moving up in weight and giving Regis problems with any more punching power than we actually seen for ourselves from Devin Haney. But a lot of people would say Regis should have a little bit more punching power than Devin Haney, and they're going to be curious to see if Devin can get on the inside and see how effective his punching power is on the inside. Now, Regis is experienced enough. This is no excuse fight right here. Both of these fighters are experienced, man. Real talk. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about no question, man. Both of these fighters can make it happen. It should be a very exciting fight if it doesn't turn into a Devin Haney, George Kambosos. Because one thing Devin can do is box. Regis can box. You know what I'm saying? Faster hands, I get a Devin. I get Devin faster hands, but Regis is a dog. That's Rougarou. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to land some punches to keep Rougarou from stepping to you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to force him and make him respect. Devin's gonna have to make Regis respect him with something to the point for him to stop walking forward. But Devin does have the movement to make this fight a distance type fight. You know what I'm saying? Working behind the jab. We seen Devin land multiple jabs in his fights. He's very accurate, very on center with that jab. But Regis has since worked on his damn defense in his fights. He used to not be as elusive, and defensively minded as he is now, but he is. I like it. We seen him in there with Cepeda, and he ended up stopping him late. It should be a very competitive fight, in my opinion. Very competitive fight. I like it. BIG on deck. What's good? Hill on deck. Jessica on deck. What's good? have been said if you held Inoue's resume over Bud's resume? I was just, okay. So Toby, if I would have held Inoue's resume over Bud, I would have been called a coon, a sellout, a Sambo. You know what I'm saying? So as a black man, right, at my age, I'm in a situation where, you know, they want to put you in the middle of the pendulum. They feel that they can slide you in the middle of the pendulum and then get that pressure from both sides. If I would have said Inoue's resume was better than Bud's, basically, you know, seeing that after I supported Bud so heavy, I would have been called a sellout. I would have been called a sellout. You know what I'm saying? I would have been called absolute sellout. They would have called me every freaking my own people. They would have called me every name in the book. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I think. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I think. Shout out to Carlos Rosado in the building. WCS salute. How this chat in the MFing game. Salute. We A-side official. No doubt about it. Yes, sir. Salute to you, brother. Big shout out to everybody that's on deck, man. It's Tuesday. We stumping through this week. You know what I'm saying? We stumping through this week. He'll say, I like your thumbnails, fire. No doubt, man. You know, I always got to send a message. You know what I'm saying? I always got to send a message. My thing is little Photoshop as possible. Who had the weakest run and undisputed in the recent four-belt era? Inoue, Charlo, Haney, Canelo, Bud. I've answered this already. There's Samad. I did. I answered it. I broke it down as far as the fighters that was on the pound for pound list and who wasn't on the pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? Active champions. You know what I'm saying? World champions undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, let me tie in your question, Samad. So Bud fought an Errol Spence who was on the pound for pound list for a long extended period of time with Bud in the top 5 for quite some time. Man. Until Bivol pretty much defeated Canelo Alvarez, you know, and stuff like that. But they had Errol Spence right up there next to Bud leading up to this fight. You know what I'm saying? And the way he went in there and beat Bud, the way he went in there and beat Errol, they had 3 belts. 3 belts. Going over there to the UK to beat Kell Brook, beating Sean Porter off a vacant title win over Danny Garcia, and then against Ugas, right? I'm speaking about the fighter himself, Errol Spence. I will have to sit up here and put Bud in front of Canelo. The reason why I put him in front of Canelo is that he didn't. When it came down to Callum Smith, people was expecting him to do way more. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for somebody that tall to just go out there and lay on the ropes and get beat on was beyond me. You know what I'm saying? But he was undefeated, right? And then he went out there and Billy Joe Saunders. We thought he was going to put up a fight. He used to talk all that noise. And his eyes started to swell up a little bit. And Billy Joe said, no, I got to go back to the house and put some ice on this. So he quit. But no one was looking at Billy Joe Saunders as this infamous freaking boxer, this world beater, you know? And then Caleb Plant, biggest win, what people talk about is Jose Uzcategui. You know what I'm saying? Even though Sweet Hands, you know, had respect within the boxing community, you know, it just comes down to, okay, do I praise Canelo for going to 3 separate? You know what I'm saying? He beat Callum Smith, he beat Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant. I do fancy the fighters who are able to fight for these belts one by one. I do. But also I have to look at those fighters that fight one by one and see if they're on the pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? Is anybody recognizing these fighters as a fighter that can go in there and beat Canelo, as a fighter that can go in there and beat Bud? You know what I'm saying? Are they? Yeah. And I look at people the way they look at Errol Spencer said that, yeah, we know he's going to go in there. He has a huge chance of beating Bud. People seeing this as a 50-50 fight. That's why I say, Bud's undisputed. Being that it was his second time going for undisputed, right? Which puts him up at the top. But if you just want to single that undisputed out and talk about Errol Spence being on the pound for pound list, undefeated, you know what I'm saying? For the longest he's been on the pound for pound list, I give him the edge over Canelo's Canelo's undisputed run. I put Bud, then Canelo, and then I look at the Inoue, Charlo, and Haney. Haney per se beat George Kambosos. You know what I'm saying? Who beat Teofimo Lopez. Haney I have to put Haney's undisputed, being that he did it in a foreign country. But the only reason his value is where it's at behind Bud and Canelo is that it was with Kambosos coming off 2 split decision wins. You know what I'm saying? Mickey Bay and Josh Warrington, I believe. I'm just looking at, no one was really looking for Kambosos. He was a mandatory. And then, it's come to light that T.O. wasn't 100% healthy. I'm just giving a breakdown as far as, the quality of the opponent that Haney was in there. So Haney was in there with the opponent that was healthy, but he had to fight him in Australia. Give him some credit for that. And then, he fought him again in a rematch. But Kambosos, nobody expected Kambosos to beat Haney. It was just all conversation. You know what I'm saying? Once again, who was expecting? People was expecting Bud to be, to have a rough time with Errol Spence. Who out of Canelo's run, they were expecting to beat Canelo? Which one out of the 3? Callum Smith, Billy Joe Sanders, or Caleb Plant? People gonna say none of them. And then when it came to Haney, what? Hell no, we didn't think Kambosos was gonna be Haney. We were just hoping it wasn't a sabotage over there in Australia. And then for Charlo, man, this is the easy one. Charlo had to regain his title from Tony Harrison. And then he fought Jason Rosario, who had already been stopped. Right? Already been stopped. But yet he had the opportunity to catch J-Rock in one of the worst times, another dark day of his career outside of Mauro Charlo stopping him. He goes in there and stop him, damn near with the same shot, uppercut, beats him, then go ahead and fight Jermell Charlo. Jermell stops him with a freaking jab to the sternum. And we already seen with the Brian Castano fight. It took him twice. He clearly, in a lot of people's eyes, may have lost that first fight with Brian Castano, but had to go back to a rematch. You know what I'm saying? He had to go back for a rematch. So I'm like, hey, I got Bud Crawford, Canelo, Haney. I got Charlo after that because, he made it hard on himself, bro. It wasn't as clean. In a way, why I put Inoue out of your having the weakest of them all, because nobody was looking for Paul Butler first and foremost. Nobody was looking for Paul Butler. Period. Nobody, bro. He didn't beat Nordine Obali. He never fought Nordine Obali, who was the current WBC champion. They sent Nonito Donaire over there to fight Nordine Obali, who was inactive. He wasn't even really active as a fighter over there holding the WBC bantamweight title. So Nordine Obali comes off the title with nobody even knew anything. Off the strength of him beating Rashid Warren for the vacant. He getting that win. Donaire comes over there, picks up the belt, and returns back over to fight Inoue for unification and gets stopped in 2 rounds. That's after he had already went the distance. And then, we're talking about who did they see that could be over that could go in that ring and equal to greater than Naoya Inoue, why he was on his freaking undisputed run. Nobody thought Maloney would do it. Nobody was saying that Jamie McDonald would be the one to do anything. Nobody was saying that Donaire, who is 10 years older than Inoue, was going to be the one. And especially when John Casimiro, he dropped off the radar for whatever the reasons he was, relieved of his duties. Then brought in Paul Butler. And then you look at the Paul Butler situation. It's on Devin Haney got his belt, and then nobody respected it. Yordenis Ugas got his belt. You know what I'm saying? All these fighters who are being elevated and upgraded to these belts. You know what I'm saying? Now, Tim Tszyu just recently was the most recent fighter who was upgraded to his belt. But Tim Tszyu, he has stayed active while he waited for Jermell Charlo. He has stayed active. I'm not gonna lie. So much to the fact that they ended up stripping Jermell and got them putting that belt in Tim Tszyu. Now, if Jermell Charlo goes back and fight Tim Tszyu, maybe, and win, then maybe he'll come up on my list, because then again, he would have become 2-time undisputed. You know what I'm saying? At the super welterweight division. It would be much more of a higher value to me. You know what I'm saying? But I put Inoue as the last one, man. Garbage. I put his bantamweight undisputed garbage, bro. That's the weakest. That's the weakest. Real talk. That's the weakest. Who was Nordine Bali in there with? That's notable besides Rashid Warren. He fought for the vacant WBC title. And shout out to Rashid Warren, Cincinnati Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did he do after he won the WBC title is a question. What did he do after that? You know what I'm saying? Was people actually believing Donaire, 40 years old, is going to go in there and beat Inoue? No, man. They didn't think that shit. Did they think Jason Maloney? No, they didn't think Jason Maloney was going to beat him. Did they think Paul Butler? No. It's damn near wasn't a single fighter on Inoue's freaking undisputed run that people thought one of them fighters was going to beat him. I'm just saying. Shout out to Tyrese on deck. Sammy on deck was good. Don't have nothing to do with damn snack, because goddamn AJ's been like that for a long ass time. So Tyrese say it's gonna be Haney 8-4, book it. So he think it's gonna be 8 rounds to 4. Okay. All right. I really can't say, give you resistance or, kick back on that. I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. It's good to see, Haney finally moving up to 140, moving on to his next division. I told people that T.O. was gonna be the first to do it. I said he should do it. I mean, take that back. I said Devin Haney should leave 135. You know what I'm saying? And if he wasn't able to get the shot that he was able to get with Kambosos, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe he can start, digging and anchoring his freaking his guide arm at 140 and plant his name up there and start making a name for himself at 140 if he couldn't get this George Kambosos fight. I said that. I say, if they're not going to respect you enough to give you the big fight that you want, then move to 140 and have Teofimo Lopez, and all them catching up to you. But they wanted to stay there, and they got a gift. You know what I'm saying? God was on the Haney side. Allah, was on his side because, Vasyl Lomachenko went over there and he had to go handle his combat duties. And Devin got the slide in there. No matter how you get it, it's all about how you receive it. And Devin Haney received that shit thoroughly and got the titles. So you can't say how he got it. It's all about how he received it and what he did with it. And he did what he's supposed to twice. And then came back out of Australia for the Aussie double, and he beat Vasyl Lomachenko. You can't knock it, bro. You can't knock it. You know what I'm saying? You cannot knock it. Hill said Devin Haney versus Regis is going to be a good fight. My only worry about this fight is Regis not being as mobile as Devin. Regis' style is similar to Canelo, in my opinion, very flat-footed and throws heavy. And you see how it works for Canelo. So, you know, Team Regis is going to have to come up with a sturdy game plan, a solid game plan, a productive game plan against Devin Haney, because, you know, Devin can box, man. Devin can move. He's very versatile. You know what I'm saying? One thing they can never say that he can't do is box. One thing they say he don't have is foot movement, mobility. He has all that. He's never been on the canvas, but people seem to talk about the punch that Jorge Linares landed. I get it. It sticks it sticks to people. You know, man, because people, you know, always want to think about the bad before the good. I get it. But he's never been on the canvas. T.O. has. Ryan has. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of other big names that was there prior to. Rolly Romero has. You know what I'm saying? Devin hasn't been on the canvas yet. So they can say he's chinny and all that other stuff, but he's not been on the canvas, man. Shout out to Nelly Content. He said I got to open up the panel. I try to, man, but some things I have, you know, I get these lives in sometime and then I got to go make appointments. It's better for me to go live in the afternoon, and I mean in the evening or late afternoon. And you say, WC Preach, brother, like the way you break it down in parables, examples like using animals, aliens, creatures. I call it the land of the lost, goddammit. You bound to find anything up in that bitch. Sir C, what's good with it? Appreciate it. Hey, Stickum Boys Fishing and Sports in the building. What's good with it? Salute to y'all. Yeah, definitely hit the like button. Appreciate you. NYT in the building. I see you on deck. Pop James on deck. I see you. Salute WCS. Salute to the chat. If Devin gets knocked down for the first time in his career, it's going to be a long night. I don't know, man. Who am I to talk about Devin getting knocked down? Regis is not a one quitter hitter. Even though he stopped Cepeda isn't Haney. You feel me? I don't just say, okay, just because, you know, he got hit with Jorge Linares and Regis dropped Cepeda in 11, that Cepeda is Devin Haney. I can't say that. There's no way that anybody's gonna tell me that Devin fights like Cepeda. He doesn't. What happened with Cepeda's next fight? How did that fare? How did that fare for him? Real talk. So he's not Devin Haney. You gotta understand, Haney is still undefeated. He's still undefeated, man. So the fight should be extremely entertaining. I'm just saying, like, the man went in there with Kambosos twice and didn't touch the canvas once. Wasn't even hurt. Beat the man death by 3,462 freaking jabs, man. Him and fights Lomachenko and then hit the canvas once. So we have to see how this weight is for Devin. How you know how much of a benefit it's going to be for Devin to come in at 140 instead of 135. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. Hashtag Bomac free. He is absolutely back in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Shout out to Team Crawford. Shout out to Omaha, man. Good to have Bomac back in the cut, man. It's going to be easier than people think for him. So So if you're talking about Hill saying it's gonna Tyrese said it's gonna be 8-4. So I don't know what Hill you said it's gonna be easier. It won't. It's gonna be easier than people think. What's gonna be easier? Devin gets knocked down for the first time in his career. It's gonna be a long night. So Jameson is saying that and caveat to what Hill said, it's gonna be easier than people think with Regis, beating Devin. Okay, we'll see. Carlos said Haney is going to turn it into a boring fight. He's going to jab on the outside and smother, hold Regis, and he gets on the inside. And I'm not saying Devin can't bang on the inside, but I think he wants distance. Listen, man. Regis is stronger than what people give him credit for. What he cannot allow to happen is us doing a remake of David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. We can't see that. The boxing fans don't deserve that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But Regis he shouldn't allow that type of engagement to happen. He shouldn't allow Devin Haney to dictate the cadence in the fight. I do believe that Regis is strong enough on the inside that he can do some damage if it's dirty boxing on the inside. I do believe that. Now, as far as what Carlos said, Haney making a boring fight, that means Regis is going to have to allow him to make it a boring fight, in my opinion. He's going to have to allow the pace to be dictated. You know what I'm saying? By Haney. I don't know if that's going to happen. Haney is bigger than what people think, man. I'm serious. He's picked up some size, but we don't know how what areas of his physical structure is going to benefit him more moving up to 140. It's only 5 pounds. He fights over 140 anyway. You know what I'm saying? He fights at 140 anyway. I know people are going to say, well, it's the rehydration. Okay, let's see what areas of his physical structure, his anatomy, you know what I'm saying, his areas of strength, see how much it benefits him fighting a fighter that's been at 140 for quite some time now. Let's see how it benefits. I'm looking forward to the fight December 9th. Real talk. Easy work for Haney. I'm taking all bets. So we got some people that's in here, taking all bets for Haney. I hear you, bro. I hear you, no doubt about it. I hear you. It's good that you got that confidence. I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at you, man. That's not an argument I choose to engage in right there. That fight doesn't excite me enough to bet on it. But by the time the fight gets closer, I'll probably do some betting. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Jameson said, no, I think Devin is going to beat him convincingly. Okay. All right. No argument from here, No argument from here. Not yet, of course. I don't think Regis is going to allow him to do that. I just think that's how the fight's going to go. I want to be excited. I could be wrong, and I hope you're wrong too. I hope it's not a hold fest. You know what I'm saying? From either side. I hope it's a very solid fight. Yeah, I know people keep on pinning that one Jorge Linares shot, but he made it to the final bell. They have to understand that. They have to pin that to the argument also. You just can't, brush through it and like it don't exist. He never hit the canvas and he made it to the final bell. That was just, I was speaking in reference, Tyrese Uzi average. Yeah, that's what I thought. If Regis knocks him down, it would be a close fight, maybe a draw. So y'all talking about knockdowns. Hey, I don't know, man. Like the only reason I don't say knockdowns with Regis, because if I was to gauge in comparison, Regis, I mean Cepeda's chin to Devin's chin. I mean, Cepeda went into the 11th round, bro. He was getting beat up. Do I see Devin being weaker than Cepeda? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Cepeda, he went in the 11th round, then before he got stopped. I just don't see Regis, having that breakdown, that pulling out that carjack. And them old school carjacks, man. Because people don't know how to change their tires today. But you bringing out them old tire irons, goddamn it. Them tire irons, man. You bring that and change. You got them crack somebody in the head with that. It's gonna do some damage. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna do some damage. I don't know if he's gonna, be out there, looking for that carjack. I don't think Devin Haney going in there thinking that, Regis Prograis got that carjack in his hand. He gonna crack him upside the head throughout the fight. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be a boxing match. I think it's gonna come down to attrition. I think it's gonna come down to strategy, decision making. You know what I'm saying? Who's smarter than the next? Boxing IQ, of course. And we know both fighters got very respectable boxing IQ, high level boxing IQ, bro. I'm riding with you 25 stylistic advantage, pure boxer over boxer puncher. All right, no doubt. I feel you on that. Not gonna say easy and work for Haney. Styles make fights. Hope it's not a boring fight. Let's see how Haney comes in at 140. Too early for me to pick a favorite yet. All right. So we have some people that's on both sides. A lot of people going for Haney, and then y'all just leaving Rougarou out there just to freaking fester. You know what I'm saying? To leave him out there with the spirits and souls of those who have fallen before him. I get it. I want to bring up the next topic, though. Interesting. Demetrius Andrade is set to face David Benavidez next, right? And that fight is picking up steam. You know what I'm saying? That fight is picking up steam for sure. And people are more curious to see what Andrade's gonna do than they are. I mean, he just have been that guy at his age right now that people have just been waiting for him to have the breakout fight. You know what I'm saying? And he just haven't been able to do it. David's obviously been in there with solid competition at 68. He's just coming off a win with Caleb Plant. But for the 2 division champion, Demetrius Andrade, for a long time, it just seems like he was the black sheep of boxing, outside of Gary Russell Jr. And he's set to finally get his shot at David Benavidez for the WBC. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be for the WBC interim, right? If I'm not mistaken, Benavidez already have that. But the winner supposed to get Canelo. Anyway, recently Demetrius Andrade went on record, and he had this to say about Crawford. He hasn't even stepped in there with David Benavidez yet. But this is what he had to say about Crawford trying to get a fight with Canelo. He said, "That's my boy, but don't come up here and get fucked up." Andre told Boxing saying, "It's a big difference. It's a big difference." That's Andrade's talking and addressing Bud Crawford. He got the skills, but there's skill fighters up here. Plus, we'll be able to bully him at the end of the day. So Andrade feels that it's his opportunity to take a jab at Bud Crawford, which it's open season. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are gunning for Bud Crawford. A lot of people see this as a moment that, okay, if I'm campaigning at this weight division, I'm much bigger. I'm not worrying about him. I don't care how strong people say he is. You come up here, you're getting fucked up. I can see how fighters can have that mentality. The bravado it radiates different for everybody. But when you get a guy coming up from a lower division, egos kind of implode, so to speak. They say, "Oh man, how dare him?" The audacity he has to try to think he's gonna come up here to 168 and fuck with us. It ain't no way Terrence Crawford think that's gonna happen. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? That ain't happen. Just because he beat Errol Spence, Man, please. He don't want this smoke up here. So Andrade is understanding that it's okay for him to be an opportunist and say that to my Bud to get fucked up. But I don't even think Bud is going to respond to it, because at this point, 36 years of age, he's trying to get the big money fights, man. Now, if you was to say Bud was going in there against David Benavidez, right? People would really cringe a little bit, say, damn, I don't know if I want to see him go in there with Benavidez. Benavidez is just like a light heavyweight cruiserweight right now. Man, that size, man, to basically overcome that size differential, it would be sick. But yet, when it comes to Canelo, people say, I think he got a chance to beat Canelo. But then when it comes to David Benavidez, Canelo, people kind of damn fizzle. They just fizzle out. I don't know. I want to see. It's crazy, dog. It's crazy. Like, the fight that people are supposed to be getting hyped up for, it's almost like they don't want to give Benavidez his ticket to get into the motherfucking Canelo club and dance a little bit on that fateful night, because he deserves it. But they want to keep on holding the man, on punishment and timeout for him losing his titles. Whereas Crawford, they see Canelo not being a real big fighter, but he has shown he can box with big fighters. Terrence has been known to go in here and make tough situations look regular. Now the curiosity is like, okay, Terrence is calling these guys out at a higher weight division. People don't want to say he can't do it and feel complete. They want to say, I don't think you should do it, because this is what we believe is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it should have. Why is he doing that? Why don't he fight? Well, guess what? When you hear the words of Jermell Charlo not wanting to fight him, and you know that before Crawford said it was weight divisions for a reason, but then he changed his mind. So we're talking about combat sports. We're talking about challenging ourselves, right? What's wrong with him challenging himself and want to move up to 68 to do something greater? Fight Canelo Alvarez. I think he's earned his spot right now. He's came a long ways when it comes to the media. He's proven that he can make great, the situation that's supposed to be tough, he make them look regular. So right now the fans is looking at it like, can he make Canelo Alvarez look regular? Can he go in there and make him look regular? Will these fighters, will they clash unlike anything we ever say? Is this a collision course that we should put a whole lot of support behind? Is it? I think it is. You know what I'm saying? I think it is, but I don't blame Andrade for saying, okay, you move up here, you get fucked up. I don't blame him for throwing his trash talking into the bucket. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the recycle bin. It's no problem with me. You know what I'm saying? Throw your trash talking in the recycle bin. And then if Crawford wants to pick it up and say, oh, what's this right here? Oh, I didn't know that. Andrade up here talking shit about me. Okay, let me throw that back in the recycle bin. It's all up to him on whether he wants to acknowledge the trash talking. I don't think Andrade understands that Bud is looking for money fights. Andrade is not a money fight unless he goes in here and knocks out David Benavidez. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Benavidez can go in here and go the distance with Andrade, and people are going to say, okay, he got the win. But Andrade, per se, if he goes the distance with Benavidez and wins, and he set to face Canelo, people are going to look at it like, you have to base it off his performance value against Benavidez. Like, how did it go? Was it a knockdown? Did he dominate Benavidez? Was it a struggle? Was it controversial? I don't fucking know. Because it just seems like people are not going to see him want to fight Canelo, but I hope he get his just due. Real talk. I hope both fighters go in there. I like Benavidez. I have no problem not to like Andrade. I just, I look at his entertainment value as a fighter, and hopefully this is the one that he has a breakout, performance against the Mexican Monster. Yeah, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm wondering if it can happen. That's all. I'm wondering, can he have a breakout performance against Andrade? Against Benavidez. That's all. Can he have a breakout performance? That's all I'm saying, bro. Shout out to Jamal Neasy in the building. What's good with it, Neasy? How you feeling, man? Man, these guys are threatened by Crawford, taking their lunch money. Yeah, everybody wants to get into the line and get served. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know that Crawford's not taking food vouchers. You know what I'm saying? They want to eat, you know what I'm saying? But he's not taking food vouchers, okay? He wants the ones who, hey, you got to pay to be in this room. You know what I'm saying? Who is paying the most? That's all I'm concerned about. Who is paying the most money? Who is the higher quality opposition? And to me, Demetrius Andrade is where Crawford used to be when it comes to the media. Crawford used to be that guy who didn't talk to the media. No one really knew what he was doing in between fights. He didn't want to fuck with the media. Now it's not like that. He's talking to everybody. He's doing it at the right time. He has the juice. You know what I'm saying? He has supposedly a schedule. He has a calendar to go back in there for a rematch with Errol. So whether people want to see it or not, Demetrius is making it known that I want to put my name in the pot to let Crawford know you come up here, you get effed up. I don't think that's going to get Crawford to emote and give any attention. I don't think impulsively he's going to say, oh, man, F him, man. I'll fight you tomorrow. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be the case, bro. Terrence Easy Word Crawford. Jamal says, salute WCS. Salute chat. Salute to you, Neasy. Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Canelo, he has the same disease as Charlo. They start stuttering and mumbling when the boogeyman name come up. Hey, man. Canelo's going to have to say, Canelo, it'll be good if Canelo was just put it out there, say, hey, I have no problem. No problemo. I'll fight him. You know, I just want to hear that. But they talking about him potentially fighting Carlos Adames. You know what I'm saying? Even though Adames is at 160. People, you know, the way boxing do business kind of make you stutter for real. Because I was just thinking, like, we can't come up here and talk about mandatories anymore and who's going to get stripped, because the WBC pretty much babysitted Jamal Charlo while he was on hiatus because he had personal issues. You know what I'm saying? So all this mandatory, this man was out of the ring over 2 years. So he comes back and fight Jose Benavidez, a fighter who was just down in 154. It's just everywhere, man. You really can't respect, you know, these mandatories unless it's like the IBF or the WBO. Seriously. The IBF especially, they're very strict on their mandatories, as the UK would say, the Brits would say. We have to look at his mandatories, and then we take care of his mandatories, and we Windex that out the way, and then we look forward to the next opponent until we clean that window. There's no way we can see our reflection and think that we're going to step up and face him as a mandatory. You know what I'm saying? We will get back with the people. The deciding factor of Andrade and Benavidez was Andrade last fight. C because of inactivity. C- because of inactivity. How long will it take for Benavidez to track Andrade down? And does Andrade have enough power to control? That's a good summation. Real talk. That's a good summation. Solid. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be one of those fights where Benavidez is going to walk down Andrade and try to force his will on him? And then, like I said before, this is what I said before, y'all. Y'all know I put it out there. What did I tell you Jermell Charlo was going to do? He was going to pull the Caleb Plant. I told you Jermell Charlo was going to pull the Caleb Plant when he went in and fought Canelo Alvarez. He was going to run. Did I not say that? He was going to run. Except he had the younger legs, or whatever the case. He had the better legs, and he was able to continue to run for the extensive amount of time. You know what I'm saying? He was able to run for 12 rounds. I told you he was going to have the Caleb Plant template. He was going to run, try to get in, land some combinations, and then move. That's exactly what he did. Now, when it comes to Andrade, he has to understand that the Mexican monster is going to keep on coming forward, unless he has some equalizers in there to slow Benavidez down, for him to stop moving forward and squaring up right in front of Andrade and landing those combinations. Because we know Andrade got some. Benavidez got some fast hands, man, and he a big boy, man. We just have to see how it play out. Because if it's this Caleb Plant template, once again, I gotta use Caleb Plant because Caleb Plant held, death by a freaking holding 5,962 times and shit. And Kenny Bayless act like, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. I'm Kenneth Seeless, not Bayless. I'm Kenny Seeless. I don't see nothing. Hey, Kenny, man, he's holding me every time, man. He throw a coming and he hold. You're not saying, my name is not Kenny Bayless, it's Kenny Seeless. Kenny Bayless didn't do shit in that fight, bro. It was fucked up. You gotta understand, Bud, a full course meal, no matter the weight. They stuck on that Michael Jai White talk. Size matters, baby. Well, Michael Jai White wasn't being totally honest. We know that. Him being as a student of the martial art game, his mindset and everything, he wasn't even being honest with the fans. He was just using his platform. He was using his stature. You know what I'm saying? He was just using his Wall Street as a celebrity to influence people. He was just going along with the narrative. At the end of the day, he is an actor. Outside of martial arts, he is an actor. So I consider him just to be going through a script again. He was acting. He didn't believe the shit he was talking about. He didn't believe. Talking about my friend, he told me that wasn't, Errol Spence talking about he don't got it. He don't got it. Why make the fight if he don't got it? How can he go 9 rounds if he don't got it out of a 12-round fight? He went into the 9th round out of a 12-round fight and he don't got it? All because Crawford peppered him and freaking dropped him several times. He don't got it. The man got up every time. So who the fuck? This my guy, Michael Jai White. But no, you carried the last name like that. I'm gonna have to get with some family members, bro. We might have to square up at the next reunion for real. W says, how Canelo legitimately thinks he's gonna get more credit fighting anybody else other than Crawford? That's a damn good question, man, because he did say that he's not going to get credit for Crawford. That's a very good question. But one thing about it, if he fights David Benavidez, it changes things. Because Benavidez has been champion in 168. And there are people that want to see Benavidez Canelo. Now, the only one that can upset the apple cart is Andrade. If he goes in there and upset Benavidez, then Benavidez is moving up just like who? Gilberto Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? Gilberto Ramirez was getting no love at the 168-pound division. It was hard for him to make weight. He was a big 168-pounder, and he wasn't getting no love and, no big fight, so he had to move up to 75. But for David Benavidez, if he get beat, I'm pretty sure he's moving up to 175 right away. Because he's a big fighter, dog. That dude put on weight. He was down. It must be tough for him. You know what I'm saying? He was down looking chiseled for a minute. But them recent freaking pictures, dude looked like he's every bit of a cruiserweight. Call say, and my Mike Tyson voice, say the name, man. Say the name. No, say the name. They want to hear the name. Say the name. The Mexican monster. Say it. Say it, Charlo. Say it. Man, come on. I said names when I was coming up. Come on, David. Just say the name, David. Come on, David. You don't say the name, I'll have to goddamn get out my chair, David. Say the name, the Mexican Monster. Say it, Charlo. Say it. Say it, Charlo. Nar here. That's my point. I don't know if Boo Boo has enough power to keep David honest. He's gonna have to box, and he can do it. I just want to see how it goes during the second half of the fight. Percent W says 100%. W says Benavidez has fast hand speed. Andy Ruiz and Leo Santa Cruz has some of the fastest hands in Mexican boxing. I just want to, I'm just curious as to how the referee, you know what I'm saying? I think it was total BS. They let Caleb Plant hold as much as he did. But Demetrius Andrade, this is his coming out fight. Real talk. I mean, you finally got an opportunity to sign with PBC after being left out there in the cold. Now everybody want to see, how do you take advantage of this fight? Can you go in there and establish some type of fight plan to disrupt the rhythm of David Benavidez, break him down, make him respect you, keep him honest? I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not down Andrade, but I don't know if you have that consistency, because Benavidez is such a tough fighter, man. I don't know if you're the one to really extract that toughness out of him and make him backtrack a little bit and respect you for your boxing skills. I don't know. Anything's possible, though. You know what I'm saying? But he's that Mexican monster, man. He keeps on stomping and stomping and stomping forward and basically violating your personal space. He stays right there in front of you. He keeps walking and walking and walking and walking. And I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how Andrade handles that space. You know what I'm saying? That disruption that Benavidez brings to your front door. I want to see how he handles the shit. Because nobody, I can't fathom right now. Psychologically, I can't bring it to thought to think that David's going to be boxing off the back foot from Andrade. I don't think, I can't fathom, Andrade pushing him back and forcing him to fight off the ropes. I don't see it, man. I'm not saying it can't happen, because Andrade's on snack. I don't know if the snack that he's getting is the snack that's outside the room or inside the room. I don't know. I have to check with Juice on that. You know what I'm saying? I have to check with Juice. I have to call him up. Juice, you heard anything? I need the juice, man. Give me the juice. Do you think that Andrade is getting a snack that's outside the room or inside the room? Because I need to try to play some bets on this Benavidez Andrade fight. I need some help. I know some word out there that Crawford got the dang snack that was inside the room. Do you think Andrade is getting the one that's inside or out? I need that shit, bro. I need that info. ASAP. I need that motherfucking info, dog. I need that info, man. What snack is he getting? I'm waiting for Victor Conte to hit me back right now. Victor Conte, man, I need to know if what snack is he receiving, the one that's in the light or is the one that's in the dark? Goddamn it, I need to see. Can you tell me? Shout out to Lee Woods, man. He wanted to pull it off. Lee Woods, he's one of those fighters. I always think he's an exciting fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised at how he got stopped. I think like 3 fights ago, whatever. But shout out to Lee Woods picking up that win. A fight that's doing pretty good with the trash talking, and it's only going to get that much fire. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be that much hotter when it comes fight week. Is Shakur Stevenson and Edwin De Los Santos. De Los Santos is talking his shit on social media. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing to build up this fight. Seriously, this is going to be for the WBC. lightweight world title. This would be Shakur Stevenson's third division that he's contending for a world chip. And he's going in there against a fighter. De Los Santos is, De Los Santos is respected. You know what I'm saying? But he had this message for Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much said, Shakur Stevenson, in the ring is my house, MFer. You know what I'm saying? He says it's his house. And Shakur Stevenson, he loved to be spoon-fed some trash talk. That shit hit him like goddamn nitrous oxide. When goddamn you about to push that 60-footer, you know what I'm saying? You about to push. Well, those of you that race on the street, whatever. When you purge that damn NOS, that nitrous oxide and shit, you purge it, and you goddamn dump the clutch. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm just saying, Shakur Stevenson loves some trash talking, dog. That shit hit him different. It energizes him different than just average trash talking. You know what I'm saying? Shakur, that he's gonna keep that shit on his front side, and when he see you in person, he's gonna remind you, yeah, you was the one that was talking trash, huh? You talking about this what again? You said what? In the ring is mama. Okay, you're gonna have to prove that. So Boxing Scene has an article said. It said, so with little to no options left, De Los Santos happily picked up the phone when it rang. Officially, the two will get it on November 16th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, the vacant WBC title on the line. Outside of the team, practically no one is expecting De Los Santos to grab the upset win. Even Stevenson himself can't envision any scenario where De Los Santos is remotely competitive with him. Remotely competitive. This is why I was talking about the undisputed. Who is remotely competitive? Who is considered to be equal greater than these fighters who are on this four-belt era undisputed run? And that's all I was trying to get at. Who is competitive? It goes on to say the two aren't friends, but in just a few weeks, De Los Santos reveals that he's planning an unwanted surprise for the former Olympic silver medalist. I don't know why they put former Olympic silver medalist. Silver medalist is with you for life. So Boxing saying, understand that, correct it next time you put out an argument. It's no former. You know what I'm saying? It's no former. Just like they say, oh, he was a former Marine. I'm not a former Marine. I'm still a Marine. You know what I'm saying? My record says so. November 16th, I'm a surprise Shakur Stevenson. I'm going to surprise Shakur Stevenson, claimed De Los Santos, doing a self-recorded video. In the ring, it's my MFN house. So I wanted to also bring up a fight that's going to be on the undercard, which is Brian Norman Jr., 24-0, and Quentin Randall, who is 13-0. These fighters are fighting off the old school, the call-outs. This fight was actually made from the call-outs. The little bit of backstory behind this fight is the fact that, when Brian Norman was in there sparring Bud Crawford on that day, when he was down here for the Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson main event in Atlanta, Quentin Randall was in the building, and he's seen Brian Norman sparring and everything. So at one point in time, he decided, hey, I would like to fight him, because both of them had fights in between time. So I don't know what Randall's seen, but I did speak to him on the phone, and shout out to Quentin Randall. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the fighters like Brian Norman, who, I was able to go over there and cover him in some sparring yesterday and everything. And his pops, senior. And, the good thing about it is, like, these are actually two good guys. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I can relate to Quentin Randall because we both lost, kids, a child rather. We both lost a child. And I interviewed him back in the day on his situation. I have nothing but the utmost respect for him. I know he's over there in Texas. And the cornballs is over there in Texas has nothing to do with Quentin Randall. You know what I'm saying? All of Texas is not cornballs. They're not. He's a good dude, man. And also over here in the South, you know what I'm saying? Brian Norman is a heavy hitter. You know what I'm saying? He is undefeated and he is a dog. And this fight is going to be on the undercard of Shakur Stevenson and Edwin De Los Santos. I'm looking forward to it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because the throwback style of making fights happen is when a fighter call out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely gonna have Quinn on here. He had made mention that he wanted to fight Brian Norman weeks ago. I'm talking about before this even broke online, but I think he said he had some. It was in the works. He had some stuff he had to take care of or whatever. Plus, you know, Brian Norman at the time, I think he had some fights coming up, so it would have been no need for him to call him out then or whatever. But at the right time, he ended up calling out Brian Norman, and you know, it got back to the top rank headquarters, and now these guys are gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna fight. I like it, man. You know, for this fight, for two fighters like that, where people just consider them not in the rankings, so to speak. You know, they're not in the top 10, but the buzz is gonna pick up. They're two black fighters, you know what I'm saying? One out of the ATL, Decatur, you know what I'm saying, and the other one in Texas, out of Texas. So this fight is gonna be one to look out for, bro. Real talk. It's one to look out for, man. I want to give a shout out to Amanda Serrano. The reason why I want to give a shout out to her because she's an absolute dog in the ring, future Hall of Famer, 7th Division world champion. But the reason why I want to give a shout out to her because she actually presented it to Katie Taylor. She presented a 12-round fight. She presented 3 minutes per round. Katie Taylor didn't want to step up to the plate and dance for that long. Now, you know, she has another fight coming up, right? And she's going to be the first. This was approved. You know what I'm saying? She's going in there against Daniela Ramos, October 27th. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up in Orlando, Florida. And they will be doing 3-minute rounds, 12 rounds in this championship affair. 3-minute, 12 rounds. 3-minute, 12 rounds, man. It will be the first time. The first recorded 12 3-minute rounds. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the traditional 10 2-minute rounds. I like this. She's definitely a trendsetter. She's willing to say, okay, I'm gonna change women's boxing, and I'm gonna be the first fight that we fight 3 minutes per round for 12 rounds. I like it, bro. I got mad respect for Amanda Serrano, for real. Got mad respect because she definitely set her mind to something, and she's a motherfucking damn honey badger in that freaking ring, man. She don't stop punching, bro. You know what I'm saying? She said, for me personally, I don't want to go back to 2-minute rounds. I like that, man. It makes no sense to go backwards. So hopefully other women are on board. They love the idea. They've been asking for many years, and hopefully this is the first step. This fight is hard for me because I honestly want to showcase that I'm capable of going 12 3-minute rounds. But then again, that's an extra minute, so it might not go 12 rounds, said Serrano. This is what I like too, because she's identifying that for women, they're used for 2 minutes, and the fight really don't start to pick up in the round, you know, around to that 2-minute mark. So they heading back over to the corner, and you know, to take a minute break and come back to the next round. But now you got that extra round that's going to bring on fatigue. And we all know what fatigue does. Fatigue bring on the knockout. So we might see that snapshot. If they start to basically, you know, according to how this fight goes, will it become standard protocol for women's boxing? I can't tell you that, but we might see more knockouts early in the fight. Women are going to have to step up their cardio game, and they're going to have to learn how to pace themselves just like the freaking mixed martial artists do. It's women that fight 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? 5 minutes, yo. for 5 rounds, 5 minutes. So 5 times 5 is what? 25. 3 times 10 is 30. So the boxers were sitting up here fighting just 5 more minutes, you know what I'm saying, than the mixed martial artist. But the mixed martial artist was in the cage per round longer period of time, 3 minutes more than the female boxers. 3 minute more, y'all. We're talking about mixed martial artists in there for 5 minutes per round. Yeah, it may just be 5 rounds, but I'm just saying that's 25 minutes. You're talking about 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5. We're not talking about 2 and go, you know, take a break. You got to find how to pace yourself for 5 freaking minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's a crazy amount of time. So it's not like women can't do it. It's just, let's see it in boxing. Because the women have always been, I mean, not always, they've been mirrored up with the men for quite some time. And for a long time in the UFC, you didn't have women fighting in the UFC, first of all. You didn't have it. Dana said he'll never have women fighting in the UFC. And then, you know, he brought Ronda Rousey over there. And then Ronda Rousey ended up being the pioneer. And her and Liz Kamuch is the first fight at bantamweight, women's bantamweight, 135-pound division. You know what I'm saying? And that kicked it off right there for other divisions. But I was just throwing that out there, y'all. Shout out to Amanda Serrano, man. She's a beast. Shakur fight press conference, the Haney press conference, the Boo Boo press conference, all gonna have trash talk, and I can't wait. Yeah, it's gonna be lit, man. I agree, it's gonna be lit. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely gonna be lit. Real talk. But I should be back on here a little later, man. I have to let me check something right quick. I know it was one other topic I wanted to speak about. Okay, yeah, the Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou fight in Saudi Arabia. The pay-per-view is $79.99. Okay, for those of you that plan on getting that, the pay-per-view is $79.99, y'all. $79.99. So for those of you that's looking to support this fight, which I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't. People acting like it ain't happened before and all this. The only problem I see with it is that they're not fighting for undisputed, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. But the fact that he's fighting Francis Ngannou, I don't have no problem with it. I just don't know if Francis Ngannou can be able to stick with a fighter who is smart and clever as a Tyson Fury. That's all I'm saying, man. He's just too clever. But can Francis Ngannou, does he have the power to knock Tyson Fury down? Yeah, he does. I don't know if he has that after the fourth or fifth round, though. Like Francis Ngannou is used to going 5 rounds per round. Now he's going 3. Let's see how it translates. He's been working with Mike Tyson. Mike has been trying to bring out the freaking Nigerian the Nigerian monster. That's what I train him. The Nigerian monster. That's what he is. So the pay-per-view is gonna be $79.99 live on ESPN. It should be interesting. It should be very interesting. Y'all hold on for a second. All right, we back. Tyrese say fire stick. Man, y'all should not promote streaming over here. He said fire stick. So basically, you already should subtract $179.99 for being absolutely included into the numbers. You're saying the numbers that people are waiting for. But this would be one of those fights where Tyson Fury, right? Tyson Fury will be in there contending against a fighter who is 0-0 in boxing. And we already know Tyson Fury has indeed earned his respect in there. And the wild part about it is that people are not talking about it right now, but they're going to talk about it as they get closer to the fight. I'm just being honest. Like, these are two big dudes. Tyson Fury's 33-0, 24 knockouts. He's just coming off a give me a Christmas present fight with Derek Chisora, who he stopped in the 10th round, just beat him up something fierce. And then, of course, last year, April 2022, he went in there and defeated Dillian White in a 6th round stoppage. Stopped Deontay in the 11th round in 2021. And that was it of notable names, in my opinion. We know Deontay Wilder was pretty much, filled up his schedule in 2020 and 2021. But, I mean, okay opponents, Dillian White and Derek Chisora, man. He just gave him a paycheck. I respect that. Deontay Wilder gave Tyson Fury an opportunity. 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? Where both of these fighters make money. But do I see Francis Ngannou beating Fury? I don't. I don't see it. I don't see it. I do not see him beating Tyson Fury. I don't see it, bro. I'm just being honest with y'all. I don't see him beating Tyson Fury. I don't see it. But later on, I have a different topic. I just wanted to have some boxing talk. You really can't zone into certain boxing topics all the time. I'm definitely going to mix up some MMA, like I always say, but I constantly talk about boxing. But yeah, y'all hold it down, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up as always, man. Got to go take care of some business, man. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game, A-Side Official. Man, just check the notifications for later on. We should do it again. Peace. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.